What is the difference between a customer and a client? Welcome to On the House Marketing for Real Estate. As you know, sales is a contact sport, but not all contacts are created equal. I found this out when I grew a business very quickly and had about as many people as I could manage. I was even blessed to be ranked in the top 5% in the nation by J.D. Powers and Associates for client service excellence scores. So I was at a conundrum of how to grow my business income more without trying to manage more people. That's when I really started to analyze the people who I managed as a financial advisor. I was already number 2 in the state for new home mortgages. One thing I knew for sure is that your very best lessons will come from outside of your industry, because your real estate colleagues are going to tell you the very same things over and over again. Hello, I'm Bert, your favorite marketing expert and professional real estate photographer. As I started to dissect the traits and the cash flows of my accounts, I assigned points. One column was for ranking their overall assets that I managed. Another column was for the revenue that they generated this year. The big aha that I learned was that some of my biggest accounts generated the least amount of income, but took a lot of my time. And some of my serious accounts, who added thousands of dollars each month, also barely generated enough income to cover my administrative costs. It was counterintuitive. I realized I had to start looking at the lifetime value of an account instead of just one transaction. I also assigned points if they had referred anyone, and I had a different column to assign bonus points if they were in a unique position to refer my ideal accounts. Doctors will be much more able to refer several high-end clients over and over, but a lottery winner, probably not. I also took away points for being a pain in the ass. You know the kind that every time they call the office, your office staff just cringes because they know it will simply steal their joy. I listed off all of my products to see if they needed life insurance, college savings, bonds, a new mortgage or home equity line of credit, etc. Or in the case of real estate, a lake cottage, a starter home for their kids, an age-in-place home for their parents, a small office for their business, a hunting property, or an investment property for passive income. Another important lesson I learned is that the more products or transactions an account did with me, the more loyal they were as a lifetime account and more likely to refer business. So this important exercise taught me a lot of valuable lessons that I could transfer to thriving when I got my real estate license. That's when I went to a national marketing conference and met a retail sales guy for a department store in a mall in Ohio. Here's today's big lesson. He was number 1 in sales. He sold men's suits off a rack in a retail chain store in a mall. But he only worked 4 days a week. He did not work evenings, and he did not work weekends. Think about this. He's in a retail sales business at a department store in a mall. Their prime time is Thursday night, Friday night, and all the weekend. So to be successful, you had to work evenings and weekends. Sound familiar? And yet, the guy kicked his colleagues' asses. Charles taught me that a customer is way different from a client. A customer is someone who does a transaction with your business. Think of a customer as someone who buys gas at a gas station. If they are low on gas, they'll stop at a closer gas station instead. Or if they see another station as a nickel cheaper, they'll go there instead. Or perhaps they are feeling like some gas station sushi today at yet another competitor. There's just very little loyalty or relationship there. It's simply a transaction for the customer. Kind of like someone buying men's clothing at a chain retail store inside of a mall. If you manage to not piss them off, they may come back again if it's convenient for them, but will probably pay someone else to help them. On the other hand, a client is someone who seeks you out for consultation, coaching, and advice. You generally share personal information, build trust, and develop a long-term personal relationship. A client seeks you out because you have specialized knowledge that they perceive will help them solve their problems, and they appreciate great customer service. This is also why clients are more likely to become friends than friends becoming clients. Estate planning attorneys, financial advisors, or CPAs have clients. It's that consultative trust relationship that makes them a client. Who do you think earns more? Some gas station attendant or an estate planning attorney? So here's your test to determine if you have been developing customers or you've been developing clientele. Because let's face it, if you're a realtor or a landscaper or a title company, a customer can get those services and transactions at any one of your competitors, probably for cheaper. To put this in perspective, let's pretend that you own a dry cleaning business with lots of customers. But you move to the other side of town, and that's a 30-minute drive, one way, through a lot of traffic lights. And your customers would have to drive past a half a dozen other dry cleaning stores along the way, many of them cheaper than you. So, what would compel a customer to do that on a regular basis? Probably nothing. But if they have clients because they always sew on a loose button, or have their seamstress fix torn stitching, or they remove the stains they found with their 17-point check-in, and they serve you a fresh coffee press coffee from Colombia with chocolate to put you in a good mood. And they take notes when they hear that you're cleaning that dress for an anniversary or getting the suit dry cleaned for an awards banquet that you are being honored at, or your daughter is getting married. Then you get a handwritten note card mailed to your home with a heartfelt congratulations for a time that is very meaningful to you. Well now, they have turned you into a loyal client, willing to drive the extra mile and pay more than the cheaper competitors. Then you get a reminder that it's time to put away your winter wardrobe. So bring in your spring clothes so they can spruce them up and put them through their 17-point check-in list and make sure your wardrobe is tuned up and making you feel confident. And by the way, they're running a special on their fur coat and wedding dress rejuvenation. And they even have a special humidity-controlled, moth-proof storage safe that is completely free when you sign up for their monthly dry cleaning convenience package. So which cleaning business is going to get the referral? Here's a tip. Gas station attendants and cheap dry cleaners do not get referrals. What kind of clientele are they going to have when the economy turns bad? Here's what my department store sales champion did. You could only see him by appointment. Yes, in an off-the-rack chain store inside of a mall. When the new clothing lines came out, he met with the designers to learn all about the new trends, the materials, the features, the styles, and the upcoming colors. Then he brought in a stylist once a quarter for a fee who would review your current wardrobe, check out the pieces, and determine what style fit you best, determine if you were an autumn or a winter. And he took professional measurements for the seamstress that he struck a deal with, who would pick up your new clothes and make your personal adjustments and then bring them back to his store. Then his barber friend next door would give you a free bourbon when you got your designer haircut and beard trim every time you bought a new suit. When the new seasonal clothes came out, he pulled out your customer service notes and created 4 full fashion ensembles: suits, belts, shoes, pocket squares, 2 pairs of socks, 2 shirts, and 2 ties, the whole enchilada, in your size. Then he would take a Polaroid picture of everything together and put it inside your jacket pocket so that you would always know what was designed and styled to go together for your personal style. Guess how many full sets he sold? All of them. He sold every damn client the full ensemble of 4 outfits pretty much every time. And that's how he became #1 in retail sales. So here's a summary of today's lesson. If you want to make more money and work less hours while thriving during economic downturns, you need to A, develop a full-service business that provides convenience. B, have specialties that no one else can match. C. Create a business plan that cultivates and nurtures the high value of lifetime clientele, not cheap customers who need a transaction. And D. Nurture personal relationships that make your clients feel special and appreciated and remembered. Please tell me in the comments below what you liked about today's training. Look, I can already picture you developing a more profitable image. To your success. Cheers!